Alrighty, good evening, everybody. Hope you guys had a wonderful Saturday weekend. I said that backwards. Saturday, Sunday weekend. I'm gonna go ahead and post and let everybody know that we're live, and we're gonna go ahead and get to it. Alrighty. All right, so we're good to go. Let me go ahead. All right, sound check. Can you guys hear me okay? Just want to make sure that my mic is responding properly. Mic check. 1, 2, 3. All right, cool, good. Sorry about the delay, guys. All right, let's get to it. All right, so let's go ahead. As you guys know, we're going to go over the news. We're going to go over the sentiment. We're going to go over earnings. We're going to go over the schedule. I did post my trading schedule in the Discord. That is free. I've also posted a couple key things for you guys to remember and think about going into this week. So make sure to check that out. I've also and will be posting some key things and educational content going into this week, especially on TikTok. So make sure to keep your eyes peeled for that. What's up? Make sure to tap your screen. What's up? What's up, Scooter? Yeah, make sure to go crazy on that screen, especially you gamers in there. We see that thumb work. Oh my gosh. That was loud. Alrighty. Cool. Just wanted to. Alright, you guys are live. Alrighty, so let's get to it, guys. So last week we had a huge move, a lot of red candles, and we're gonna go over that right now as soon as the screen loads. I kind of had to do double duty tonight. So, okay. So last week, right, we saw the S&P down 2.8%. We saw the NASDAQ 2.72% down, Russell 1.85%, the Dow 1.66%. Stocks had a volatile week, ultimately closed lower as the safe haven dollar caught a bid. Consumer inflation data came in better than expected, sparking a major rally in the stock market. Meanwhile, the November's national retail spending and manufacturing showed their largest decline of the year. The Federal Reserve hiked rates of basis points, raised the year-end 2020 range at 5%. Of basically 5.25%, sparking a late week sell-off. Additionally, the market is pricing in a year-end 2023 range or 100 basis points lower. The SEC is currently after 8 influencers for alleged $100 million pump and dump. Sheesh. I don't know if you guys remember that one. No, Cosm actually had some legitimate news. Is anybody on TikTok right now still in Cosm? Anybody? If anybody out there is in Cosm, I want to know. Let me know, please. It'll make me feel better. Yeah, I need to find a bear mask that's similar, and But if anybody has any good bear mask, send those to me. So. Anyway, retail traders, investors are banning meme stocks after a rough performance. We've seen a major decline and some new yearly lows on those. Electric vehicle makers made news this week with Mullen and Rivian making headlines, along with automobile loan market remains at risk as used car prices fall aggressively. If you guys bought, or if anybody bought cars at the peak, a lot of those cars are 30% less in value, and I have 150 shares. My My name is Chasm. Does that count? Yo. That's the best thing I've ever seen. Post those gains, or if you want to post those in the Discord, man. I just like to see how that played out for you guys because that's amazing. That's good stuff. All right, so let's go ahead and break into the economic data. If you guys are on TikTok, just a reminder to tap your screen. And again, on Discord, I have already posted my weekly schedule, and I will go over that after the sentiment because this is exactly how I set up my day, my week, right? And I went over this with my mentors. Um, Hold on one second. Okay. Yeah, I went over this with my mentors. Building up that watch list, setting a schedule, finding sentiment, building a watch list, stuff like that. But make sure to go check that out. But going into this week, economic data, we've got Monday with just the housing market index, low impact data. Tuesday, building permits and housing starts, low impact data. Wednesday, current account, CB consumer confidence, existing home sales, crude oil inventories. CB consumer confidence is high impact data, and that could. I'm so sorry. I drink a whole sparkling water. Forgive me. That may happen more than once today. But the the CB consumer confidence might spur that 10 a.m. reversal. Remember that as I give you guys my schedule. Thursday, final GDP quarter over quarter. Thursday, unemployment claims. Final GDP index, and then CB leading index month over month, natural gas storage. Friday, we've got core PCE price index, high impact data, core durable goods, personal income, month over month, and personal spending month over month. All of this data, which is kind of a lot, right? New home sales, revised University of Michigan consumer sentiment, inflation expectations, right? All of that data is likely can coagulate together as high enough data to give the market something to mull over, right? Now, obviously, we need to pay attention to these things, but they are not as high impact coming after FOMC, and I expect the move to be in said direction. So, bless you. My job prohibits me on day trading tips on holding stock options for 30 days. Yeah, absolutely. Parker, uh, I'm not going to say your last name. Um, Shoot me a DM. I've got a recommendation, not stocks or anything like that, but I do have somebody you could talk to. Um, but yeah, I can refer you in the right direction. How would they know? They might be able to monitor that shit. Who knows? I'm gonna try light. So kitty cat. Yeah. Excuse me. So anyway, now this leads me to the trading schedule. All right. So going into Monday, I think this whole week should open up pretty nicely. I'm going to wait 15-30 minute candle close depending on the gap, right? So I need to go and look right now. I did not and have not looked. And so this is actually going to be crucial. I'm doing this live with you guys. You guys, a lot of you have pointed this out. My lives are never scripted, ever. I don't do that. What would I predict for Cosm Monday? Um, I haven't looked at it, but honestly, after that pullback that I saw, it might see a little bit of decline. Typically, I don't see that reverse split as a true reason why that should have gone up. So, yeah, I $20 was I would have been out. But anyway, um, yeah. So anyway, so Tuesday, looking for some solid trades at the bell, but expecting to close in range. I'm gonna pull up ES really quick and see where we are opening. Weekly candle is open slightly lower than that other weekly candle. Got a retest level there at 39 396. Let's go to the daily here. All right, definitely not looking amazing, right? But definitely could be a retest candle of sorts. or it might be that bounce candle. But as you guys can see, it's so funny because how long has it been since I haven't had this? Um, it's been, hold on one second. Let me delete some of these things. It's been a while since I charted on TradingView, as you guys know, because I don't use TradingView very often or at all. So it's kind of funny to come back and see that all of my analysis has not changed. So I can just really quickly get a idea right there. Perfect. So as you guys can see, we're fluctuating around that 50% mark and bounced right off of that key level, 3850 3858. So right now, currently futures are bouncing. So we'll see what that brings us. But the most important thing to me every single day is that where we gap up or where we gap down. That gap oftentimes determines everything for me, whether we're going to see a retest, etc., etc. So moving into Wednesday, CB consumer confidence at 10 a.m. Wait till 10 a.m. It's pretty simple. Thursday looks clear to trade. I think most of this week should be good movement. We have a three-day weekend that may start to take effect. 3-day weekend obviously should be in effect on Friday. Expecting a big move possible as investors try and rescue either their Christmas rally or we see new lows each day. Uh, Obviously, this open is super duper important. Now, moving, I use Trend Spider to chart. So here, oops, I want you guys to take a look at this. All right, this is statistics. So every week I have a schedule on what I'm gonna do, and then also one thing that love to keep in mind is the statistics behind the market. Right, when does price hit the day's high and low generally for stocks? In the first minute, it's 10% of the time, right? So you can generally expect that not to be the first deciding factor. The first half hour, 40%, right? You got 30% lows. First hour, so you can obviously see here that the highest probability is within that first half or hour to make that new or hit that high. So even dying down statistically is right here in front of you guys' faces. So anyway, that's it for the schedule for this week. So that brings me to my watch list. Oh, before I move on, I do want to go over earnings really quickly. I did get a question on how do I pick stocks? Why do I pick stocks? Right? Or how did I build watch lists when I was obviously deviating? And I'm going to give you guys a really, really simple answer because it's not as complicated and there are no wrong answers. If you guys hear my daughter going to bed, that's just life. But there are no wrong answers here. There are only stocks that move, and I think the only thing that people really worry about is missing the big one. You're always going to miss the big one. If you're somebody who always wants to hit the biggest mover in the market, go ahead and get that out of your mind, or you're going to keep chasing until you understand this. But one of the things that I look for is earnings. Earnings is oftentimes a giant volume for sale sign or for buy sign, right? That attracts buyers, sellers, investors. So I gave somebody an example. CCL is a stock. One of the things that I really, really, really like, really like when I'm looking for an earnings trade or looking to trade a stock after earnings is that it is up or around the same price as it was in previous earnings, right? And that's pretty simple. And so we can historically go back and see that uh, CCL has been in fact at that same mark. So we could start developing a thesis on or a trade based on the very well built area around CCL, and there's already a request for it. So I will break this down here in a second after I'm done talking about this. But that is a catalyst, right? You can trade it for a couple days after, or you can potentially take a trend trade. Earnings happens, wait for the consolidation breakdown, new lows, right? That doesn't always happen, but typically in a trending stock right now, we have a ranging stock, right? Range, trend. So that's kind of one thing to keep in mind when you're looking to build a watch list, right? Everybody's watch list is different for different reasons. A lot of people like safer stuff. Some people stick with commodities. Some people stick with steel or just our futures, whatever it is. Same thing. Not futures. Sorry, I didn't mean to say futures. I meant not assets. I was thinking like steel and aluminum, stuff like that. Sorry, the words failed me. My Discord, well, currently, yeah, my Discord is locked down right now. But typically it's $65 a month. But yeah, we're not accepting any new members at the moment. So that is, I think it's, so CCL, BBIG, Mullen, some of the top names. There's three. I'm throwing out a rough prediction here. There is a metric ass ton of pharmaceutical, penny, bank, like many investment groups, a ton of them. You could see penny stocks move tomorrow. So just keep that in mind. It's something to think about. Wednesday, nothing to report. Nothing to report on Thursday. Nothing to report on Friday. Just so we have that covered. But I'm gonna start talking about it now because I want to go ahead and get it in your brain, and we're gonna go ahead and get to the analysis after this. After this week, this first week, going into the second week, right? Banks. And what banks always lead us in is into earnings season. Nobody's talking about the fact that earnings season is not that far away. It's the 18th. Oh, I may have been off. My bad. I was off a week. We do have some stocks reporting this week. I'm sorry. But the only ones that I would really note are Fuel Cell, BB, Nike, MU. It's another one. Rite Aid for those swing traders. Paychex, APGO. That's about it. But then moving into the next week. But regardless, we have basically 3 weeks until bank earnings, and then we get into the start of earnings season, which is going to affect stocks and could I'm going to make a slight prediction here, could potentially keep us in range till then. I hope not. I hope we move down into earnings and then potentially have earnings give us that bounce. Or if somehow we end up moving up, perhaps that is what brings us back down. So just throwing that out there. But anyway, let's go ahead and get to the juicy stuff. The watch list this week. I am watching for a bounce off Tesla. Um, or on Tesla. This thing is at 150. After hours closed at 149. That has been my price target for quite some time. What do I think of alpha day trading? Okay, uh, he's kind of a cornball, but I don't really know enough about him. He's kind of like the hypey stuff, but I've never seen him really do anything wrong. He seems to be standing up for the right things, but I don't know enough about him to give you a accurate prediction. I'm sure he's a nice guy. Anyway, yeah, I did see some. Right now, the next PT that I have on Tesla based on standard deviation, and that's what I got right now, is 140. And then I think that we could see regardless, I see a big bounce, but we're going to go ahead and blue skidoo. I know I say that a lot, but we're going to move down here to this, get rid of that channel, move down here. One thing that have not forgotten, and I know this will happen. I just can't tell you when because I'm trying to find out myself. I am looking for a bounce on Tesla. And one of the things I like to do here, if I find resistance and I can't find support, I'll do this, right? And I'll bring in that standard deviation. And then I'll go ahead and line up my price targets. I know that we will go for at least one more tap. I don't know where support is. I would imagine it's 150. But if we open up with a gap down, which I hope we do, I will confidently use pre-market lows. And if you want to write this down, so on Tesla, and I'll write it down with you guys so we can all talk slow and dumb. That's what I'm gonna sound like as I do this. So Tesla right now, guys, if we gap down, and this is the only scenario that I have a plan for, I'll go ahead and if we gap up, I'll deal with that tomorrow morning. But the gap down right now, and also look at that short volume is incredibly high. If you look at this indicator right here, but if we gap down, I will find pre-market lows and find the contract that will allow me to, because we want a 3-to-1 risk, right? So I would want to make sure that my stop loss was somewhere in place, um, where, or expiration is somewhere where I can buy and hold that confidently and set a solid stop loss using pre-market lows. Now, if we gap down something stupid to 145, plans done. Like, we'll go ahead and remap, right? But right now, I am foreseeing some sort of bounce. And again, standard deviations are tricky because you need to make sure that you have a bounce. We don't. The only bounce that I have is right here, but this isn't the standard the trend still continues. So, TikTok, let me bring you guys, come a little bit closer, huh? A little suspect. I don't know if Elon's done selling, but I would imagine I mean, he's unloaded some fucking hefty shares, and they've definitely gotten those out. So fast. Okay, we'll take a look at it. Yeah, just But anyway, so Tesla gap down, find pre-market lows, use as stop loss option. I would imagine at least 3 weeks out, and the price target, right, would be a confluence. So the first thing that I would reckon is 167, right? But in order to make any upside move, right, we've got two key levels right here. You don't even need to move down. You can see them very clearly. It's going to be right here, 150, basically 159. And notice that is a price range. Now, a lot of the times whenever I have the 4-hour setup, I'll look at fibs. If you notice, Fibonacci, ignore all the lines, just focus on the white ones. Fibonacci has us up at 165.35. That's one of our last fibs. So I'm looking at a potential retest of around 165. I would like to enter after a 15-minute candle close. Obviously, using pre-market lows as an entry. That first 15-minute candle is where I would like to add if it is obviously above, and I'm liking the setup. So we'll add above that mark. But for me, the candle closes right here and bounces here. So this is 151, 151.50 and 154.45. So, but again, we'll see where it opens up. But that's a loose plan here on Tesla. If you guys want, have you ever traded MS? I think so. MicroStrategy, right? I believe I've traded it here and there. It's been a long time since I traded that. All right. So moving forward, Netflix. If you guys took Netflix, you should be up quite a bit. Whether depends on what expiration you took. I've gone over this with my mentors, and of course, I am talking about as we just talked about the potential bounce. Let me get rid of these fibs too much. So here's the deal. On Netflix, I saw a gap down under my 292.75, but the fact is that we did settle and candle close. I guess we did actually close 291. So just barely sitting on top of that 290. I'd like to see Netflix down, and I'd like to start looking to take profit around 280. But one of the things that I talked about was where these candles open. We've got a massive gap to the upside, right? And one of the things that we hate about wedges, but we know that they're capable of doing. Because if you think you're bullish, right, we don't look at things fear-based, we look at things trigger-based. Where do things trigger, right? Because we don't want to trade with fear. So right here, all like usually in these situations, I will use, oh shit, I messed that up. I will use a deviation channel, and I'll look for a confluence. The only confluence that I have on a lower time frame is 280 28 before this could potentially turn bullish. If we can break down below 274.85, we've got a little bit of a gap to fill down there, and I think that the price target is 250. But we're banking on a major reversal after, again, and we're going to go look at the weekly because we're short and we're green, but the gap was filled. We have, I'll show you really quick, the same setup. Look right here. It's right in front of our eyeballs. Big green candle, doji, reversal. Big green candle, doji, reversal, right? And at that 50% mark, which is right around that 289.26, which is exactly where we closed last week. So in order to make new lows, we got to get out of this little wick zone. 280 and remember 275 right there. So right here. And again, if you guys are on TikTok, this is on YouTube as well. Links in the bio. That way you can see this chart. You can rewind it. You can screenshot it. Also the comments. If you guys have any requests, those requests are always best taken on TikTok. Thank you. Love you. Bye-bye. If you drink too much Sprite, buy Liquid Death Severed Lime. It tastes like Sprite, and somehow I don't know how to explain it, but it's better. Quenches your thirst. Sound is going in and out. Sound is going in and out. Can you guys hear me? Can you guys hear me a little bit better right now? Maybe I should stop moving around so much. This is why my teachers wanted me on medications. All right. So Netflix is continued on the watch list. For those of you guys who are currently green. Now, I know you guys are probably thinking, what is Garrett going to do with the small account? I have not forgotten, right? At all. I have not forgotten. Right now, we are watching Amazon, and I'm going to continue to watch Amazon. So here's the deal. Downtrend. Bam. Right? Perfect. Beautiful. Right? Consolidation. Even better. Right there. And right here. So right now, and again, this is the weekly. Here's where you're at. And it's really good to start your week. Just write this down. It's really good to start your week looking at every weekly chart and looking at where the weekly candles closed. This is important. Love to throw up some auto fibs right here. Amazon, right? A lot of the times, so if you don't know why, sometimes if you see an auto fib and you don't, like, it's just out there, you can slap a line on it, right? Pull it over, get rid of the fib, and then go and look at where you see those bounces. So let's zoom in and investigate, right? And we can clean it up even. So we see right there, break up, build. That's the first one. Here, not tons of confluence, but this is obviously a resistance level. Now, second, big bounce. That's $83.95. That's $84. Big bounce, all off of 84. So this is clearly a level that is worth paying attention to. So Amazon to the downside, if you guys have those 1223 puts, we will TP those at $84. If you have those calls, we will TP those probably at about 100 or 101. So basically, one of them goes in the money. Or can you guys can hear me still, right? Mic check. Yeah, mic check, real quick. Man, I hired bodyguards, and sometimes I wish I did. You got okay. Sounds good. Okay, cool. Yuck. All right. You tap your screen. Run your finger straight through your screen right now, Derry. All right. Again, very simple. Now let's move down to the daily, and let's get a clear view. Hold on. All right. So moving down to the daily, same red box, same setup right here. All right, there we go. So that is $90.50. This one, two, three, four, right? This candle does very weakly close below where all those candle closes, right? But not very strongly. And it did wick down into 86.81, which was 50% of the rest of the gap that it had left, which that gap was going to fill at 86 bucks. So that is currently where I'm looking. It is really simple. I'm looking for Amazon, and this is going to blow your mind. Maybe not. Right now, lower time frame, it's developed its own little trend. So I am looking for a gap down potentially to 86 bucks, and we will see if we get a bounce out of it. And that would give us a retest, 92 bucks. And then from there, if it is going to break to the upside, that's where we're going to go ahead and wait for the trigger, 97.15. And again, we're already in place. We're looking for a run up to 101 and 104. Yes, John, you can. All right, so that's it with Amazon. Again, there is on a lower time frame a small gap right here that is day tradable. That is 89.87 up to 91.50. Sound like a long whale? Sounds like a long wait. Wait, a wait for what? Uh oh. All right. All right. So that's it. If you guys have any requests, go ahead and drop those in the YouTube chat. If you guys are on TikTok, drop them in the YouTube chat and then hop back over to TikTok. It just helps me keep track of them. We're going to run this bout into 9:30, 9:45, and we'll go ahead and shut it down. All right. So starting off, the first request that we had was CCL. Yeah, I have done that one, but we'll take a look at it as well. So this one I find very interesting, super clean, and that's number one. So if you're looking for if you're prepping, sometimes you find a trade and you have to wait weeks, right? I'm sure you guys like TTI, they're gonna tell you the same thing. So I personally see a little bit of a wedge here declining, but we also have earnings. Earnings is coming up in about a week. So it is probable that you will bounce and stay in range. That is support across the board, right? Break up, build, breakout. So you've now declined. You're at support. There's a gap all the way to 11.19. So I imagine that you might have to wait just a little bit for this to fire off, but it has some really clean levels anywhere above 933. 933, that would be a great level to reclaim. 935, 933 right there. Above that, you have $10.05. Pretty simple. And then you're in the gap, and that's where I believe 1125 is pretty much inevitable. ABTX. I didn't block you. My mods did because you were throwing a little baby hissy fit because you're very emotional and probably because you're not making any money. So let's move. I think I already got that one. I did that one kind of like right when we started. I did do Netflix already as well. That one analysis stands XOM. This one, mm, mm, chef's kiss. So we do have a daily and I believe a weekly standard deviation channel. Oh man, this thing is gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. Now, does it predict the future decline of oil? No. I didn't see that guy's comment because I'm not paying attention. Sorry, if you guys are on TikTok, I only have so many ADHDs. So right here, we'll get rid of the other data. Check this out. You are going for either a retest, maybe throw a little autofib. Oh yeah, look at the autofib right here. So you're either going for a little retest, or B, you have now closed back underneath that autofib, and I imagine that $99.15 is your next target to the downside, but obviously $100.50, $100 is psychological. Makes sense. So I would be looking for that to be a major deciding factor on whether or not you continue lower. Now, full fusion is a long ways away, even though it's just been announced. So maybe not in any danger right now, but I'm just joking. But right now, $100, and again, I would say 98.18 are the near. If you close in this red box, the median, and do you guys notice right here that I don't even have to draw? I have the top of the box, but right there you have a perfect median, which is in line with your Fibonacci, which is $93, or this is 92.95. And then you have a perfect bottom with a gap target at 87.50 and a bottom at $85. So it looks phenomenal. And of course you have the rounded top, but again, oil is tricky and you shouldn't just go off trading it because you see a standard deviation channel. This thing could go up again. It's oil, right? And so we could potentially map that out. I see, because remember, lower time frame setups, a lot of people trading. If you're too zoomed out, zoom in, and if you're too zoomed in, zoom out. So I see one of these bad boys, right? Now I could go back and do this and search for a confluence between the two, or I can go throw those auto fibs back up and see that the same confluence, right? 93.14, 9. So I'll give you right now, you can come back in a week or 2 weeks or however long. If oil continues to basically, I'm saying this: if oil falls below 80, $100, right, and $99, I'm predicting a pullback to at a minimum of $95, $94. I would say 94.15 is my target. But yeah, that's kind of what I'd be looking at on XOM. Looks pretty interesting. Obviously, oil again. No, you know what's funny? This dude just said my fib is wrong, and it's actually done by a computer, dude. It's done by computers. It's not me. It's an auto fib, bro. Auto fibs done by computers smarter than you and me. I promise. I pinky promise. Uh-oh. ABTX is. Oh, we got. Thank you guys. You guys are really, really helping the viewers. Actually, the more that you guys interact with my post, if you guys don't see it, the more the viewers go up. So keep going. Keep throwing a hissy fit. I like watching. Is ATX, are you in Austin? You must be going broke. Don't block me. Why? So you can sit in here and pout more? Isn't that what Coach did? Nut up, dude. We're trading stocks, dude, not emotions. All right, XOM, right? We're done with that one. I like that. Disney. I got a chart for that because I chart, I think, everything. So let's look at the bottom floor. I used to live in Austin, Texas. Great kolaches. Love the Oh, hello. Hello. Okay. What's up, kitty cat? Um, the fact that I'm using autofibs is kind of funny. I'm not going to listen to that, dude. Autofibs are just as accurate. They just usually don't have the latest swing high, but the autofibs still are in line. So, and like I just showed you, there's like beautiful confluences between those autofibs and key levels. So I'm going to rely on the key levels and the confluence between the autofibs and the key levels. Then your comment, you've given me nothing. So maybe send it on my Twitter and correct me with some, and I'd be happy to hear you out because I'm not sensitive. And if you don't, you're doing me no value or anybody else by just saying that you doubt it. Anyway, Disney right now is accumulated basically on support. You did close a candle in an area where you haven't before, right? You have wicks, candle. That's 91.41. This candle closes slightly below or basically on top of $90. But you've typically rebounded off of that. So a open below, right? And of course, it depends on the retest, but an open below that $90 mark could be indicative. And so what I would be looking for is if you do gap down below 90, I would look for a gap fill, rejection, and then a wick fill down to 88.74 and $86 if you're looking for a day trade on Disney. Now we're going to get rid of the standard deviations and kind of just zoom down here. Lower time frame is going to show a downtrend, but we don't. Oh damn! my cat, my cat just knocked over. My cat just knocked over. You guys got bitch slapped by my cat. Oh, dude, these liquid deaths are delicious. They're my favorite drinks. I love them so much. Is there a weekly safe to play on Monday? No weekly is safe. None. All right. So I'm actually going to delete this and go up to or down to, excuse me, the daily and show you this. So this was a really, really interesting setup on Disney. There is a support, and whether it's I believe it's the standard deviation channel that we're kind of riding on. There's a ton of confluence with this. We've got two big bounces off of that, and of course, standard deviations are long-term trends. But right now, we are just below with weak price action that key level of 90, and it is 91.50 and 91.55. If you're doubting, I mean, if you don't see it, it's right here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, right? You open on top of it, you gap and go, right? 5, oh yeah, 6. So 6 times we've bounced off of it, and the 7th time we have gapped underneath it on earnings, but typically we have held that. So we did close underneath it with a weak candle. That is my point here. So if you reclaim, I'm going to go ahead and give you a definitive price mark here on Disney. All right. My definitive price mark is 92.15. 92.15, and then you would likely want to go and fill a small gap to 94.17 and then surpass that if you're looking to go to the upside. But if you are looking for downside, again, I would say to wick fill here at $89 and then moving down to that 86 would be good. So guys, if you guys listen, if anybody in here is upset at the, leave it alone, right? This is a practice on emotions too, right? This helps me with my emotions in the market. I can't react to. I just have to let it be, right? Sometimes it could be just a Sims character. Who knows? NPC. I'm just kidding. But just focus on asking me guys asking me questions. That's all. I'd rather answer your questions than debate with somebody right now. Their time their space to do that is in the comments. So let's see. I'm trying to make my way. There's a ton of requests, so you guys might get boxed out here. So let's go take a look at BTU. So anyway, just to recap this, green on a reclamation of 92.50 and red on a wick fill of 88.60 and obviously down to 86.40. BTU is already charted. Damn. Dude, my past self be putting in work. Appreciate it. Okay. I think the last time I talked about this, and I mentioned, I remember now exactly what I was talking about here. So we're going to go back and we're just going to go look at where BTU couldn't break out before, right? That's where we're going to go look. And that's how we're going to go find out where we need to fall. If you want to go short, if this is a double top, right? Because it kind of looks pretty double toppy to me anyway. So I see, and I know you guys can't see my finger on YouTube, but I'll just use the mouse. So right here, right, I see a candle close, and I see some candle closes right there. There are some wicks up here off of $29, and that seems to have been yeah, you didn't reject that on Friday, but you did close underneath it. So right there, candle open. I see a big rejection off of that, a big rejection off that. So it's all in that 2750 range. Underneath it, right, where you continue to fall down. So now I'm looking for just a range where candles close underneath. I could just box it out, right, and then just set my marks. But I'm trying to see where would BTU have to open up underneath in order to fall. And that's going to be 2623, right? 2623. If you open a candle or close a candle underneath the 2623, I would suspect, based on mechanics, that you would likely be moving down to 1985. My children had too much candy. What is the best time to buy 0-day expiration so you don't get much time Monday? How many hours a week does a full-time trader work usually? A full-time trader is in New York or at a firm. We have to even put it, I would even say, stricter rules in place, especially if you have limited liquidity. Again, I've talked about this statistically. I've shown you guys now the statistics, right? This is just kind of the hardest thing for people to grasp, right? And it's the one thing that I wish I could help people the most, but it's sometimes just a decision that has to be made either out of frustration or out of, and it depends on how much liquidity you put out there. That might add to that frustration or not. But 98% of traders retail show up every single day. And 98% of them lose money, right? The little tiny trades in between here. You need to know where your strategy, right, which means you have to pick one, where your strategy fits into the market. Are you a scalper? Well, most scalpers with a lot of money, if you don't listen, if you're following somebody who's scalping with $30,000 per trade or $10,000 per trade and you're in a $5,000 trade account, that's not going to work. I'm just throwing that out there. It maybe, but you would have to. There is somebody in our Discord who manages to pull it off, but he has some crazy discipline. Fast Rody, if you're out there, I'm shouting you out, brother. You're fire with the small account scalps. He just takes $80 and leaves. He's totally cool with it. He'll make $120, but he's building a small account. Leaves, trades, but he's executing right now as a scalper. So as he builds his account, right, eventually he'll have more liquidity to do that. But the point is that if 98% of traders show up and lose money, then maybe just the simple equation to add there is don't show up. Know when to trade. Know when to trade is literally probably like the best advice I could give to somebody who's been in it and are struggling. And this is, I build a schedule and I posted it in my Discord for free. A trading schedule, right? This schedule basically tells you how I feel about the week ahead of me and what I'm planning to do with the data available, right? Monday, I have it planned. Wait for the first. I'm planning on using, depending on where we open. Again, that also changes every single day, is unique, right? So I have to kind of move the plan to adjust. But right now, based on the economic data, Monday, the week looks good to move, right? But 15 to 30 minute candle close, depending on the gap, right? We'll go ahead and add to the trade that we take, or if we gap down, we'll use pre-market lows. take my trade at the bell, and then I'll go ahead and go from there. Tuesday, looking for some solid trades at the bell, but expecting to close in a tight range with CB data the next day. Of course, 10 a.m. the next day, right? I'm not trading until 10 a.m. Why? Because CB data comes out then. And then at that point, if I don't see anything, I still don't trade. So, each week's going to be different. Maybe one week you're trading every day, all day. And then the next week, you don't trade at all, right? Now, think about it. You could go look at a chart. I'll keep going with BTU, guy. I won't forget. You could go look at a chart and see this clearly, right? Actually, I'm going to go look at NVIDIA, right? To simplify this for you, you could just go and say, okay, check this out, right? Let's count together. From this reversal, which was mapped off of that, right? We get, and you could have used 267.16 as a candle close mark. Let's say you take that short, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you gap down. From that gap down, you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days of shitty trading. 6 days that I bet the SMH and AMD and all the other semiconductor stocks stayed in range. And I'd be willing to guess that most stocks did. So if you can see it on the chart, then why wouldn't you do that in real life? Why would the illusion is, and one of the big things that I talk about is if you're trying to follow a trader because of they're a trader and they're there all day, I hate to say it, but they're there advertising, right? Now, if you're just, if you got again, there are teachers out there who just love to teach, I'm sure. But if somebody is trading all day, no, right? All day, every day, that is not the way to win as a trader, because the time, again, our strategies by definition are meant to take advantage of certain anomalies in the market. And if that's the case, then it's not going to happen all the time. And so we need to know when to trade, and we need to basically have scanners, or not scanner, but like our own mental scanner, a sentiment scanner, to get an idea of what's going to make for a good trading day. Have you had 6 days of consolidation? Well, get ready, crack your knuckles, let's trade, right? Have you been trading up here for 4 days straight? Get ready. But in that 4 days, you don't have to trade, because guess what? How much money in that chop, right? And I explained this to somebody, and I'm going to get back to analysis here. In that chop, most people give themselves PTSD, and then by the time the stock breaks, they're so damn scared because they're changing their trading plan every single time they take a range-bound trade, or they're taking profit too soon because everything was reversing. Now your plan's all fucked up, and then when the stock actually does what you thought it was going to do, you're sitting on the sidelines with pee-pee pants. So again, I'm going to tell you, and I say it a lot, but I mean it more than anything in this world when it comes to trading. It is the willingness to step away that will make you money. And it sounds backwards, but it's the truth. All right. Anyway, nice rant there. That was good. I lost my breath there for a second. All right. So anyway, let's keep moving with BTU. I would say at the moment, just to break this down, because it's very, very clear, it looks like 29.25 and 27.86. You need to get a candle close below that, a candle above 29.30. Yes, $30 is literally directly above you, and that could potentially set you up for a lower daily head and shoulders, right? So if you were to go make a new high, if you reject $30, and I don't know if you can see it, and unfortunately TradingView doesn't let me do it, but right here, right, that would create a shoulder, and then it would be a decline down here. Now the higher time frame setup is obviously the massive wedge, But again, I discussed this before, and this is off. I apologize. You are on support. You have hit support 3 times and resistance 2. Does that mean that it won't go down? No. We have what could potentially be a double top. But there could be a bounce. So don't, again, I would say 29.40, 29.30, and $30. If those are broken, you should be going and making new highs around 34 to 35 bucks. So that's my thoughts on BTU. Owlet, right? Owlet. Did my daughter what? Listen. Oh, I thought my daughter would have heard me for sure. She might be asleep already. Owlet? I almost bought one of these when I was when my son was first born, and then someone told me that they were like, how many babies like just didn't have one of those and they were like alive, and I was like, oh yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So honestly, when it comes to these charts, I got to go to the weekly. Charting it there is going to do me no good. And this is one of those charts that's going to give us a prediction that's going to be in the negatives. So obviously this can go to zero, go to pink sheets, or get taken off the stock market. But right now there is absolutely no volume. So it would need some sort of catalyst, maybe an acquisition, maybe they get bought out. I don't know what that would be, but your current and major floor above you is $1.65. So in order for Owlet, any PJ Masks fans out there, Owlet to get up to about 165, and that would have to happen in days, but that could be a retest. Perhaps maybe you could give the 4-hour glance. And I would go check maybe the short volume. No, nothing. All right. That's what I got for you, fam. So again, you can't go down to the negatives, but you're pretty much bouncing off 61 cents. It looks like you got a covering there. So I would say $1.13 is your current resistance. And then your actual like target, if that's broken, is about $1.50, $1.65. So all requests, I'm taking requests off of YouTube. So if you guys have any requests, YouTube, that's the place to go. All right, mRNA. Yo, that was a good play, guys. That was badass. I had a good time with mRNA. But now it may be time to slam back to reality, or so this might be a good chart. Let's take a look at the weekly. Let's throw a little auto fibrillation up there. Yeah, we'll steal a level from that one. And it looks like, what is that, 205? Yeah, 205 is going to be psych. And then let's box it out over there. Oh my God, this thing is so money, it's stupid. Look at that. That is clean, 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 clean. So the weekly candle did, in fact, close outside of 187.30. Okay, that's number one. Number two, right? And we're going to go to the daily now for this. Oh, well, first, hold on. We need to find our target to the upside, because if you do continue to the upside, we need to know exactly where Moderna, and we've already seen 27 or 2. I'm not going to lie, a little brag moment there, but I called for 216 while it was still in the mid 180, 190s. So that was nice to see that actually hit my target. I took profit and it dumped shortly after. But right now it would be 230. You have a beautiful zone right here. Nice Potter box, right? Let's get a candle close up above 206 on a daily candle at least. And I do believe that you should see 230. Now, to the downside, we're going to go back to the daily. See the red zone? Don't go there. It's really that simple. If you go back below 187.93, or this is marking it basically grounding up 188, right? 188, candle closed. Look, candle opens on top, right? Rejection, rejection, right? Rejection. All of those. First candle opens up, goes and makes a new high. If you close below, you have a gap to fill. That gap doesn't close at 169.65, but that is the support. Underneath that, so if you're looking to, again, might not get this play today, but here's what you can do. You can set those alerts now, right? So that way this week, and if you're charting and not setting alerts, I don't know what you're doing, right? You need these alerts. If I would have double checked my COSM alert, I would have 40. I would have a lot of money right now. I have truthfully, I should tell you guys this because you guys are watching me and stuff like that. I have never felt that is probably either, if not number one, but number two FOMO that I have ever felt was on COSM. I called COSM at 15 cents. 15, excuse me, 15 cents, and then called for a reload. I think it was, obviously it's reverse split, but called for another reload down around that a similar mark. Didn't have my alert go off. Never saved the alert. And of course, that one went and slammed it at freaking $23. I couldn't believe my eyes. At first, I thought it went there from 15 cents, and I actually did get sick to my stomach. I thought it did go from 15 cents. I got sick. I was like, oh my God. Can you look at your left camera? Sorry, guys. There's let's see. If it's on the TikTok, look over here. See that list? That's my interview spot over here. Swing the thing. But yeah, right there. Those are all the requests that I have. So if you guys have requests. All right. Oh shit. Shouldn't have done that. That was mRNA. Pretty simple. Let's see. The next one is Dollar Tree. Looks like a good short. All right, this one I used to trade. I actually started, a lot of my career started on Dollar Tree. I had this whole crazy thesis on Dollar Tree that ended up playing out. Gave me a lot of confidence going forward into my career. That's bullshit. Bullshit. Okay, that's not. Wow, Dollar Tree's looking. Sheesh. Looking consolidatory. Okay, so let's zone it out. When you find that. Oh my God, what a beautiful zone. Good gravy. That's dope. Okay, so big ass gap, number one. So if you were to catch a short on Dollar Tree, that would be stupid. But I need to find the trend on this one. So we're going to actually delete this. So we do have a big ass triangle forming. Very cool. Which means that we could see a major release. You know what's funny is it looks like that in reverse. Straight up, look at that thing. You might end up ripping up, but look at those wide oscillations. So let's go ahead and I'm going to throw up a standard, try and find trend here. Now this may be extremely unsuccessful, and I may have to just delete it, but we're gonna see what we can do. Oh shit, that looks pretty good. Now I know you guys are probably like, but what about? And I got you. Don't worry about it. It's right here. It just didn't go anywhere, and that was all-time highs. So I see a ton of profit taking up at the top. I see, obviously, we have reclaimed trend. So we did break out. We didn't have the conditions to continue moving higher or even go and hold those highs. So right now you have a lot of sellers up above you. I would agree with that. I would say that anywhere back up above, and this might seem self-explanatory, but back up above 163, and I'd be worried. I would be considering the possibility of actually making a new high. And I would say that 200 or perhaps 195 would be the target. But currently, the zone that you need to be most worried about is right here. What are all these little journal looking things? There's you guys. You're in here, buddy. These are the notes that I take on you guys. Raider Trader, isn't it past your bedtime, Chief? Time to go night night. Growing boy. I'm sorry. So check this out. We got a beautiful trigger, beautiful trigger here on Dollar Tree. You're already sitting up on top of it, but notice 144.72, right? That is where you've consolidated before big time. There is a major confluence here with support at 134.88. And that's kind of where I'd be watching. Those are my spell books. No, the people that I do one-on-one mentorship, I record progress and take notes on things like a therapist, like a trading therapist. Maybe I should start doing that. But anyway, that would be the move down to 134.44, and I believe that you should be going for you would actually be looking at the possibility of moving back down. You did not retest 120 or 113 when you left it. You also left a gap. Most gaps, almost all gaps always get filled. So again, my magic number is 3. Typically at a resistance, if buyers can't do it 3 times, they're done. Same thing with support. So you're getting really close. And I would say that this is definitely a play worth watching. I'm going to take this right here, 134.40, and I'm actually going to just set an alert there because that would be more important for me. ATX, dude, I'm going to be honest with you because I mean, I would say the same shit to you, to your face. You've been all fucking with your panties in a wad in my comments. You came on the live. You came on my Discord pretty heated. Please, and now you're spamming and saying that you're gonna test me, which is mad weird, dude. So I would just go ahead and tone it down, or just completely hop off the live because I'm definitely not taking a request from you right now, dude. Maybe another time. But if you do go to Dairy Queen and you get a snow cone, they will hold it upside down to show, or a slurry, they'll hold it upside down for you to make sure that it sticks. All right. I'm sorry. Let's see the next one that I got right here. It looks good. It looks really good. But again, I would just say that 134.88 is the trigger. AMC. I'm not even gonna. So maybe one day you're gonna. I get so amped up because it's like if I was a market maker, I would be amped up because what they're doing on this is just the most disturbing shit that it's just wild. They've extended this so many times. Absolutely wild. So right now, every time that they do the same thing, they get AMC popping. Who knows? They might have somebody on Reddit kind of spur that up again, cause for another case. Short volume goes up. Right now, I think $3 and 11 cents. Now, you are sitting on top of. This is where the squeeze was kind of initiated, right? This is where you saw that first initial big pop. Big old consolidation, and then they end up squeezing it, right? So you're back down to square one. A little bit lower, there's a tiny little gap to fill right there at 360. The way that market makers have done this is basically they get everybody all amped up, they send it to the upside, all buyers go in, they grab liquidity, and they drive it back down, and everybody runs because everybody was there for profit in the first place, not to squeeze out hedge funds, even though it sounds cool to say, that you're trying to fight the man, but you're not, because you really just want to make a bag. And so since you and everybody else are trying to do the exact same thing, everybody runs at the exact same time, and they may pop this one back up to like $13, maybe even fill that gap at 17 at some point. So maybe, just maybe, $1.50 to $3 would be an area where you could watch AMC bounce. But that's the last time doing AMC this month. That's a good monthly recap. But the next one is Fast Eat Now. I used to pronounce that wrong, and it sounded a little bit sus. He knows, and that's why he won't block me. Wait, what? I know what. I, hold on. I did it. Oh God. Blocked. Okay. Um, this is actually a good chart. You're not lying. You're not lying, dude. That's a great chart. Awesome that you recognized it. Looks pretty damn good. I'm gonna immediately look at this and I'm gonna say standard deviation channel. Blocking Abe. Yeah. Yeah. Wait, Bruce, you look familiar. Is that FinViz on top? No, that is TradingView. I'm actually going to go to the daily. I want to go to the daily because this isn't clean enough for me to line up a standard deviation on that. And because the top is a little bit wonky, I'm going to go with the bottom where I see support, and that's right there. And I'm going to pull it up to the top, and that's kind of ugly. I really don't like that either at all. So it might not be a fact. We might not be able to use the standard deviation channel in this case. Typically, I'd like to go from its highs and drag it down to its lows, but I don't know. Yeah, we're going to have to delete that really quick. So again, this is just part of charting. Okay, that looks good. Not a big fan of the standard deviation channel, I think, on this chart, period. I do see a few confluences. I think it might be worth leaving right there. But of course, you see that there is obviously support coming up from the top. I personally don't see, I don't see that as really useful. But it does look like it is in a solid trend. And this, just like I was talking about before, is here. So again, no standard deviation channel, fine. But we can go ahead and always rely on these historical price marks in order to give us an idea on where things could be heading. So look right here, watch with me. So we see a bounce here and a bounce here. That's 48.60, right? Then you gap down, you bounce. The first place you find resistance, that's 48.60. The first candle that closes bullishly and opens, closes and opens bullishly above 48.60, you go and you make new highs. You do decline. Oh, shit, motherfucker. You guys saw that live. Hold on 1 second. Peyton, can you bring me a paper towel quickly? I've spilled pee pee. Just kidding. All over the potentially electrocutable. Are they sleeping? Sleep is for the weak. Wake them up. Liquid death. Dude, I thought about using my shirt and I was like, they're gonna judge me. But it was a quick cleanup, I didn't want to leave. But here, now we're back. No sugar, so it can't get sticky. But now my desk smells like lime, and that's looking at the silver lining. I don't need this. Huh? Put it under the mat. Well, I was hoping to go for the lime scented mat. It's an infusion process, ancient Japanese technique. I'll teach you when you're older. Rip it off. Now that A's gone, can we do DQ? Yes, we could absolutely do DQ. 100%. I wouldn't be surprised if he's on YouTube. Um, Sorry. You said one could move reach down to. I'll look back at it really quickly. Hold on one sec. So here's fast, underneath $50, you saw a nice consolidation in there, and then below 48.60, typically you go and you move into what we all have tracked and watched. It's so beautiful. That's 47.15. That is the median. So underneath 47.15, my price target on FAST is 45.80. There's a small gap to fill down there. 45.80 is my price target if you continue trending down, which it looks like you may. You may see a retest. So don't go back up above 48.60 and can't close a candle. I would say max 49.12. And then do go down below 47.10 if you are short. Back to Dollar Tree to answer your question. You said $24. That's where you could see this going before trending down. 124 is right here. Yes, absolutely. So I see where you're seeing. Let's go and see the candle closes right there. Big bounce right off of that. So I would say 127.60 SR, and it's never a line. It's always a zone. That's always been true, right? And then I would actually argue the 24 and say 23.44. Now let's throw an auto fib up. All right, so oh my God, that is so. Look at that 119.76. Now, one important thing to remember, right, about all of this is when you approach a support, you need to look at how many times you've done that. So if this is one, or we'll say 1, 2, this would be that third. But I would say that you're in the right range. Your price target is essentially the median in that zone. So 125.75 would be dead center. But the gap, I would say the dollar right now, based on my chart, my target for Dollar Tree would be all the way down at 104. And that's trending into, I would say at least April or March, at least. So the camera has a smudge. All right, I got you guys. Yo, listen, if you guys take Dollar Tree off of that, I do think yes, that's my thoughts. I have discussed Tesla. We'll discuss it tomorrow morning as well. Again. All right, it is 9:35. I'm going to start slowing it down. Be on live or with me here. We will not be on YouTube, but we will be in the Discord. If you're already in the Discord is sealed. If you're already in the Discord, you can DM me. But if you're outside, obviously on the TikTok, we'll be live probably around 8:15, 8:20. So if you guys want to go ahead and hop on, then I'll answer any of your guys' questions. I'm getting tired now. I can tell my brain's shutting down. If you guys have membership questions, you guys need to DM me, please. Also, by the way, just a reminder. Thanks for chatting, Dollar Tree, and this is J-Bo from the Discord. Awesome. What's up, brother? Skylined crew. Are you a high-rise window cleaner or something? I should stay live longer on TikTok. Should I not stay alive in real life? I'm just kidding. I've been on here I might talk a little bit on TikTok. I typically do that. All right. What was next? Next was. Hold on. I'm trying to see where it was at. Doesn't Tesla, Moderna, Starbucks? Did I just skip that one? No, okay, I was on the right one. I think I have this one charted too. Maybe not. Maybe on the daily. I do on the daily. Hey, hey, look at that. I don't know when you asked me to do this, whoever asked me to do this, but mama mia, look at that thing right there. Perfect little zone. Again, the zone's auto zone. Um, you're back. You're retesting. So here it is. You ready? This is dope. You should be excited. You should be excited if you're watching Disney. So here it is, right? We're gonna say 99.58, right? Candle open, and at least a 101 retest. At least, right? I'm thinking we might bounce, just a bounce, but this is if you close back down. And let me tighten this up just a little bit so it's perfect. So, I mean, you could obviously, we've got, what is this? 99.20, right? But for me, a candle close underneath the low that you bounced off of, so 98.10. 98.10 on Disney, and you should be moving down into 96 area and possibly even all the way back down to 93. So that's Starbucks. And then also, I do remember, if I'm not mistaken, that this one also had a standard deviation channel. I forgot. It was been a minute. Hold on one second. Let me see. Oh my god, it's disorienting as hell. It does. It does in fact have a standard deviation channel. Just needs to clean up a little bit. So, based on standard deviation, you have also fallen back into this channel. So, currently, the price target would, in fact, be 95.45. I use SR trends, EMAs, candlestick patterns, and RSI. Bobo, the most important thing is, do you understand what they do? And do you or do you see a benefit with each one of them? Does it make it easier, or does it cause fear? Right? So that's something to contemplate. So, um, do HD currently. So again, with the nope, you actually fully closed. So here it is. Ready? Right there. 330. It's basically 330. 329.85. That is the ceiling above you, right? This is currently where you are chopping, consolidating in. Looks like you bounced off of its support, 319.72. I would I would say below three. So the next level down for HT is HD, which is going to be pivotal, is 315.50. 315.50 across the board. Take a look right here. You'll notice big build underneath it, big rejection off of it, candle close below it, new lows, rejection there, bounce right around there, build on top of it, build on top of it. So a lot of signs showing that. And then of course HD does have a gap down there at 292. So if you do fall back into that zone, first of all, the zone is massive. So the true zone right here, at least for now, would be down to 300. So that's what I would be looking at. All right. Yeah, let's do DQ now. Huh? How about that? Is this DQ New Energy, or is this DQ what is this? Our Dairy Queen? Hold on. That's got to be that New Energy Corp. It looks like the sloppy trend line down there at the bottom. Sloppy at the top. Yeah, that's not looking great. So I'm not going to do one of those things where people like to stretch their trend lines, but I do see that and that. Get rid of that. Yeah. Okay, now I'm going to find our floor. We got to go back historically, of course. There you are. Not good. Not good. Not good if you're a bull. All right, so it looks like you opened up a candle. 47 bucks. So as you guys can see, major rejection zone there. And your floor is 43.13. Now that's pretty close to your median, and there's a gap to fill at 41.50. So I'd be looking for a gap fill. Actually, never mind. That gap has already been filled. I see that giant wick right there. So actually, no, there's not another one. No, there is. Yeah, there's a small one there at 38.45 too. So right now, if based on the fact that you have pulled back down underneath that $47 level, I would be looking at a move down to 37. Right? That's where I'd be. How do I know where the floor is? The floor is shown to me by price, right? Look right here, right? You can see pretty much across the board. I might need to bring that up just a tad. There you go. So bounce, bounce, candle close, bounce, right? Right here, you get some fluctuations underneath. And of course, right, this is just kind of like some of those key solid levels because this weekly candle closes back up. If it closed anywhere down below, right, then we would start using the basically this isn't enough for me to set it as the floor. That is the floor because the most amount of price respect happened there. The price responded multiple times to that $37 level. Here you have basically three solid taps. But again, if you get to 37, that would be your next leg down, 34, 35. This is the weekly. Daily, excuse me, this is the daily. TLD. Oops, TLD. Nope. Use your. Oh, wow. Okay, we're just going to enter an E. I don't have a TLD. I usually tell people to stay away from steel, just because it's highly manipulated. But yo, this actually might be a fucking cool ass. Yo, this might be a good buy. I might have to set an alert on this bad boy. Take a look at that. There you are. That's still technically bullish. If you're looking at an uptrend, you do have a rounded top right there, but technical patterns on steel are never a great idea. You had a bull flag right there, by the way, before it dumped and never returned. Do I like poodles? Yeah. Yeah, I think I like poodles. I mean, they never give me any reason to dislike them. So X bounced hard. And so we can go and track a median here as well. That median is going to be at 25.23. So I would say that that'd be a good stop loss. 25.35. Watch for steel to break out there, and then 26.43, and then potentially you could go and make a new high. Now I do see this little standard deviation here, bad thing. So you did bounce off of that deviation channel. So I would say that 23.43 should lead you down to 22.41 and the gap fill, and possibly down to 19 or $20. So making people's dream fade away is better than seeing the stock going up. What? Oh, now we know he's trustworthy. What are you guys talking about? Thanks for standing up for poodles. Yeah. Yeah, you got it. I'm always down to stand on the side of superior canines. I wouldn't call poodles, superior. We're gonna have to go to the 4 hour here because this chart is not. Honestly, if you're watching Meta, this is another chart. I gotta honestly, I'll have to write the another watch list because this one's my current one is starting to build up. But when I look at that, I start to kind of get like, I'm like, okay, we should be seeing something here shortly. So my focus is here on Meta as of right now, and we'll get rid of some of these other lines. Look, I had a trigger right there. We closed on top of my trigger that says "Go Ham." All right, so here we are. Welcome. This is Meta 118.75 right there. 117. I'm gonna throw up the auto fibs on this one too. Okay, we got an auto fib right up there. Perfect. 122.50. The median then is 118, and obviously this is one of those larger zones, so really is that bottom, but there's your bottom. That's 113.25. So currently, I think pretty much everything you need to know about Meta is right here. We do have a massive gap down here to 116.20. Um, yeah, man, you got a crazy setup right now. You've got one, two, basically three rejections off of Meta. You've got a gap to fill down to 116. You've got a support. Forgive my chart is all goofy right now. And you've got a what appears to be dynamic support right there. So I would say that right now, man, I don't I don't really like that now. I'll watch it, but basically 123.42 is your wall. 123.42 and 124.13. That's going to be where you're going to want to watch. But candle open above 123.34, and I would have a price target of around. I've had this price target, and it's basically the gap fill for Meta, and that's 130. So this could continue to. The longer that it sits down here, the higher the price target is driven. So interesting chart there. I'm actually going to set an alert on that. This is a new account. Yeah, I got. Actually, speaking of, whenever I get off of this, I'm probably gonna green screen my other account. Um, actually, here, let me do this. Did I log in with that? No, I didn't. I did this last time. Yeah, I have a backup page. It's linked in the videos that I made, so make sure to go drop a comment. But I probably will not have this page for very much long or for that much longer. So awesome chart. You're sitting on top of support right now. Let's see where Meta opens up. If Meta gaps up, dude, excuse me, I don't mean to dude you, but if Meta gaps up or bounces and or bounces period off of 119.40, I would be expecting a nice move into the 128s. So the old account got taken down by Charlie DeMar. He paid a service to have my videos mass reported because I found out that he ran a scamming crypto group and tried to hide it before switching to contrarian investing, where he basically buys newsletters and sells that information as his watch list. I do my research. And he doesn't want me to say anything, so. All right, I am gonna go ahead and do one more. Oh, what's up, man? But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and shut it down. I think I got the majority. I can't believe I got through all the requests, almost all of them. But I'm gonna go ahead and shut it down. I'm pretty tired. My brain's starting to melt. I'm gonna go ahead and chop it up on the freaking TikTok for just a second, answer any last minute questions. But otherwise, bright and early tomorrow morning. I'll see you guys there. We'll see you guys on Discord if you guys are a member, or we'll see you later on TikTok if you guys are outside. So, anyway, everything you need to know is in the link in the bio. Just scroll through it, you'll find it. That's it. Peace. All right. Y'all finna get wiped